Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're breaking down the high-stakes 2024 US presidential election. It's a showdown between two big names, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. This election could shape the future of America for years, and we'll explore who might come out on top. I'll give you the latest on polling, key issues, each candidate's strengths, and what's happening right now in real time as Americans cast their votes. Introducing the candidates. First, let's introduce our candidates and where they stand. On one side, we have Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, aiming for a return to the White House after his term from 2017 to 2021. Trump's campaign has focused heavily on issues like economic growth, immigration reform, and what he calls restoring American values. He's drawn a lot of attention with some unconventional promises, including potentially appointing RFK Jr. to handle public health issues, a move that stirred debate on both sides of the aisle. Then we have Vice President Kamala Harris, representing the Democrats. Harris stepped into the role of presidential candidate after President Biden decided not to seek a second term. Her campaign has emphasized equality, climate action, and safeguarding democracy. Harris has pushed to mobilize a diverse coalition of young voters, progressives, and women, though some polls suggest she may be struggling to hit the high turnout her team hoped for in key areas. The polling picture. Now let's dive into what the polls are saying. According to recent polling averages, this race is incredibly tight, with Harris holding a slight national lead, but Trump closing in within the margin of error in some crucial swing states. This means we might be in for a razor-thin election night result. States like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona are especially critical. Harris is doing well in Michigan and Pennsylvania, but Trump has shown unexpected strength in places like Nevada and Georgia. In these battlegrounds, a small swing in votes could determine the winner. National polls only tell part of the story. The outcome will really come down to these key states, and it's all about who can get their base out to vote today. Real-time election updates and voting trends. So, what's happening right now as Americans vote? Reports show high early turnout, which could favor Harris, as Democrats typically lead in early voting. However, Republicans are expected to turn out in large numbers on Election Day, which could help Trump. And there's been a wave of lawsuits around election security, with Trump's campaign already preparing to challenge close results. Polls in some states are already closing, and early returns show a mix of results, with neither candidate pulling away decisively. As results roll in from states like Florida and Ohio, we'll have a clearer picture. Key issues driving the election. This election has brought a range of issues to the forefront. For Harris, topics like protecting abortion rights, tackling climate change, and healthcare reform have been major pillars. Trump, on the other hand, has doubled down on a law and order approach, advocating for tough immigration policies and promising tax cuts. Public health has also taken center stage, with Trump hinting that he may involve RFK Jr. in future policy decisions if he wins, stirring significant debate given RFK's views on vaccines. Harris, meanwhile, has promised a science-based approach to public health. Analysis of paths to victory. All right. Now let's talk strategy. How can each candidate get to that magic number? 270 electoral votes. Trump's path relies on flipping back the Rust Belt states he won in 2016, like Michigan and Wisconsin. Harris, on the other hand, is aiming to retain those states while possibly flipping traditionally red states like North Carolina or even Texas, which has shown surprising Democratic interest this year. Final predictions and what to watch for. As we count down the final hours of voting, both campaigns are bracing for a close result. Analysts are saying this could end in a nail-biter, possibly even with recounts in key states or a long wait for mail-in ballot results. Keep an eye on Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Those could be the states that tip the balance. So, who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments.
Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military, they give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
And I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
Will Trump make a comeback, or will Harris break new ground? Make sure you're subscribed to our channel for live updates and analysis as the results roll in. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.